Hi everybody, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my craft room. I'm eating candy canes and enjoying the sugar, and I'm keeping the Christmas crafting going with project number 5 in my Making a Vintage Christmas series. I want to take a moment, if you're a new subscriber to my channel, welcome, and if you've missed project 1 through 4, I have listed the links to those videos in the description box below this video. And also, you guys, this is project number 122. So if you haven't seen some of my past videos, I hope you'll check those out and you'll find some inspiration. So this is what we're making today. I'm going to be using some new things and some vintage things. And I thought as we put this together, let's chat a little bit about finding vintage and other crafting bits for your stash. So let's make this cute little ornament tin. Using one of these little tin boxes for this ornament today, and as always the crafting supplies I'm using will be linked in the description box below this video. So here's your basic little tin can here. If you don't have one of these on your way out of the supermarket, you can grab one of these and they work perfectly fine. So what I did here was, this is in 2 pieces and there's some little hinges right here, and I just bent this back a little bit. And this will pop right off so you can separate them, and then just push these little tabs right back in. And we're going to be covering them up anyway, so you will never see those. Okay, so paint. Now, you can definitely just grab your acrylic paint out and paint. This is 2 coats. I would say I probably would go 3 on this. I think it needs a little bit more coverage. And these here, I used one of my metallic spray paints. I think this was, rose gold. But whatever metallic spray paint you have, I think it's a lot less work, a little easy. I just took it outside and sprayed. And this really holds on to the metal well. This one here, you probably could scrape your paint off. So if you do want to go the acrylic route, grab yourself a clear finish and give it a little spray just to protect your paint. Okay, so let's just use this little deeper one here today. They both work perfectly fine. It's little shadow boxes. And let's put a hanger on first, kind of get it all ready, and a little bit of decoration around the sides. So I'm going to use one of these, I don't want to call it a pipe cleaner, but it is in the pipe cleaner section usually at the craft store. And I'm going to decide this will be my top. Let me just lay it on here, just kind of give it a little bend all the way around. And I'm not going to put any glue in the center here because this is going to be a perfect place to slip a ribbon underneath to make a hanger. All right, so let's get all my stuff out of the way here and get our glue gun going. And just start gluing this down. And these things are a little springy, because there's wire in them. So you might want to just hold them down for a moment until they catch on. So on my Facebook page, I had posted one of these ornaments that I did several years back. And you over there said, let me see a tutorial on that. So that's kind of why I'm doing this today too. But also one of the girls over there, her name is Julie. And Julie suggested, she just chimed in, and I love that, and said, people will ask me, well, I can't find the stuff you're finding. I don't have flea markets, and I get that. A lot of parts of the country, you guys tell me you can't find like a lot of this small stuff. And Julie mentioned, she goes, shop your home, broken jewelry, old cards, little bits, and, in garage sales and thrift stores. And we're going to touch on all of that here in a little bit and talk about that. And, she really has a point with shopping your home because, think about Christmas cards, for example. I've gotten some really cute little Christmas cards from people over the years. You can take your hole punch and pop out some adorable little snowmen and reindeer and a lot of cute little things out of that. All right, this is glued all the way around, so that looks really pretty too. And I'm going to grab, I've got a little bit of vintage lace here. Now, definitely don't have to go vintage. You know, if you've got a good craft store, where are my scissors? Okay, I'm just losing everything this morning. If you have a fabric store around, like, you know, something like Joann's or something like that, I mean, you can find some really beautiful lace. And, you know, you don't have to use lace either. Use what you got. Maybe you got ribbon, tinsel, baker's twine works really great for little hangers too. Okay, I just want to make sure I've got this like right in the middle so we're not lopsided here. But see how that, like, leaving that open right there, you can just slide that right under and make a nice little hanger for our ornament. Okay. All right, so this is ready now to fill up. We're going to add a little backing to the inside of this box. I'm going to be using a vintage Christmas card and just the other half of the box here so I can trace around this and just kind of get a good idea of size. Usually have to resize it a couple of times to get it to fit inside that box. Okay, I got lucky and I found my vintage Christmas cards at an estate sale. It was on a Sunday. It was like the end of the day. They had a couple of old scrapbooks and they were filled with old greeting cards. And, you know, they truly weren't that collectible. They were glued in with that old brown glue on those brown pages that were disintegrating. But I came home and ripped them all out and made myself a nice little stack. And I was grateful to get them, that's for sure. Okay, like I said, we got to sometimes go around here and adjust this a little bit. So, you know, like I said about the garage sales and the thrift stores, the estate sales, I think the key is consistency. A couple of things are going to happen when you go. You're either going to hit the mother lode, you're not going to get anything, or you get one little thing. Most of the time, and I'll be honest with you, you get nothing. But if you stick with it and just keep going, you'll be surprised at what happens. That's basically what I do. And I'm going to glue this down with just a little bit of Mod Podge inside. But, you know, for this too, we're in the Christmas season right now. When your holiday cards start coming in, you know, take a little look at them before you toss them, because there's a lot of pretty little things on those cards that you can use for backgrounds, such as this, or other different little ornaments. You can use scrapbook paper. If you like to download from Etsy, there's, you know, a million beautiful things you can get for a background here. So there's a lot of options for doing this. Isn't that pretty? That turned out really cute. This is my favorite part, filling up these little shadow boxes. Okay, so in this example right here, the tinsel that I used inside of here is so old, I don't think I'll ever even see it again in my lifetime. It came off of something. It's just like definitely a one-of-a-kind thing. But like I always mention to you guys, like, this is Target, okay, $3. It's tiny. It's gorgeous, not only for Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Halloween projects. You know, this is really good to have in your stash. So if you ever run across kind of this tiny little tinsel garland, grab it up. You won't be sorry. I'm going to take a chunk of this. Let me see. Use these. Break off a nice little chunk of this and pop it down in the bottom. And this is almost like a little snow down here on the white one. So it's going to look really cute. Okay, now we're going to talk ballerinas for a second. Once again, eBay, and I'm going to throw Etsy in here as well, is the world's biggest flea market. Okay, now I know it can be overwhelming. I know sometimes it can feel expensive. But just like the thrifting and the estate sales, the garage sales, consistency is going to be the key here as well. And, you know, if you're really wanting to build up a little bit of a stash, you just kind of have to spend a little time searching and you're going to find stuff. Now, these little old ballerinas came from eBay. I know Etsy usually will have them too, people selling vintage. These, for a search, you do a vintage, or you don't even really have to use the word vintage. You can put ballerina cupcake topper or ballerina candle holder, cake topper, and you're going to find these little ballerinas. All right, these two here, these are definitely the old ones. These are probably from around the 50s or 60s. I'm not quite sure which, but I have to be honest with you, they are a bit scary, don't you think? I mean, I know they're old, but these faces, I mean, I don't know. So I use them sometimes, but I prefer, there's a newer version out there as well. Now, when you get her, don't worry about what color her dress is or her hair or her tiara. Here's what I usually do. I'll cut off, just get my little cutters here, and I'll cut off this little stand. They have a little stand on the bottom, so they stand up on your cupcake, and I'll cut that off. And with my acrylic paint, and I think I used, yeah, I brought this out again, the Think Pink, and I redid her dress and her little ballet shoes and her little tiara. I just use a little silver metallic paint. And we're going to change the look of her altogether. I mean, look at how sparkly and pretty she is. Okay, grab a little silver glitter, grab your Mod Podge, and I'm going to put a little bit on just on her tiara here, and I'm going to put some going all around her dress. Just kind of globbing it on there, so it'll be nice and sparkly. Don't really have to do the back that much if you're, laying her down in a project as you would if she was standing on something. And if she is standing on something, don't cut off her little base either. You can definitely use that. Okay, so I've got some silver glitter here. It's a little chunky and craft store. And I'm just going to lay it on here on that Mod Podge. And my goodness, look at how sparkly and pretty she is. All right, so she's going to slip in like right in here. I'm going to let that glitter dry a little bit, and I'll brush that excess off her legs. Okay, so that's going to go, that's already just adorable. All right, in this one here, I used a piece of vintage jewelry. Okay, and I find these little broken pieces of jewelry at the flea market, and I have a whole little collection of them that I've collected maybe one piece at a time. Another great option, this is my plate of sparkly bits, as Catherine over at Sweet Gildings likes to call it. Catherine sent me these to do a little crafting, and she's very generous. I wanted to share this with my new subscribers if you've missed it. But over at her Etsy shop, Sweet Gildings, it's absolutely stunning, you guys. Her whole site and all of these beautiful things. And she is offering us a coupon code. Okay, so it's Vintage Girl 15, and it's 15% off of your purchase. And so I listed her shop and linked her shop, and the coupon code is down there for you too. So if that's something that interests you, please go over and give that shop a little visit. But look at all these beautiful little things that you can add that are just absolutely so sparkly and beautiful and stunning. So, that's a great option that's out there. I wanted to show you this. This is a vintage pine cone that was on, I believe, an old corsage that was all broken up. And you could actually add this to anything in the world, and it would just be so stunning, right? But, how many of these are around in the world? You get lucky to find something like this. So what I did was, and let me find it here. This is just a little pine cone that I found in one of those, like you get the little sprig, the little pick at the craft store, with the greenery, the berries, the pine cones, and I just pulled it out. And actually, I mean, I think a pine cone even just looks really pretty in there too. But let's just do like a little let's do a little side gig here and bring out the pink chunky glitter and the Mod Podge and my brush here, and let's just brush some of this Mod Podge on this little pine cone and see what we get here with the sparkly pink. Okay, so then I'm just going to take and roll it around right there in that glitter, and My, that is very pretty, isn't it? Okay, so I think that is a great option right there. And I just wanted to show you this one. This was a bigger one that I had, and I wanted to try out the techniques. So I did this and I put a pink velvet ribbon on it. And I'm telling you guys, this is going straight to my tree. And you know what the best thing is? We can forage outside for these pine cones, and look at how beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Or on someone's package? I love that. Okay, so this little pine cone here, I think we're going to use it in today's project. Let's let it dry. All right, let's put it all together. One last little component that I'm going to add to this is I pulled out my interlocking stamps. I have the word joy here. This is the medium lowercase that I'm using for this. And, you know, even if you have a real cute little Christmas rubber stamp will work, but I have a little scrap of coffee dyed paper here and a little stamp, and I cut it out for us here. So we have the word joy. And on this one here, the Christmas greetings came out of, I believe, the same Christmas card that the backing is, and I just glued that to the back. All right. So normally for the word joy here, I would use my Mod Podge to put that on, to glue that down, but I'd have to go dig for my paintbrush out again. So we'll just use a little hot glue to do that. And down here at the bottom, let's just add a little bit of the hot glue, take our piece of tree tinsel and shove it in there right at the bottom. Our beautiful sparkly ballerina. All right, when I set her down in here, I like to see where the contact points are, and it's like the back of her dress and the back of this hand. So usually we'll put the glue right on those spots. And that's right where it's going to make contact with the back and glue down. Okay. All right. And of course, our gorgeous little pine cone here. This is so pretty. Just cut the wire off this. And let's put it right down in there. These are cute too, because when you get them off those little picks you buy, they usually have like some flocking on them too, which is pretty. Okay, pop that right down in there. I made up let me find it, a little lace bow that matches the lace I used. I'm just gonna glue that right there. And then I think I'm going to use one of Sweet Gilding's pretty little jewels too, right in the middle of that. Add that right on to that bow. That one's trimmed in pink, so it matches kind of all the pink sparkle that's going on. In the example here, I had some of these little vintage bells. I put a little bell there, which is absolutely adorable too. So you guys, there's the little tin all filled up, and I wanted to just give you one more quick tip, okay? There are two websites that I love. One is called Smile Mercantile, and one is called 32 North Supply. I'm going to leave the links below this video to their Etsy shops. I believe both of them have websites as well, but this will get you started. They have everything from spun cotton to all the colors of glass glitter, die cuts, the millinery flowers, paper houses, the little mini deers, bump chenilles, you name it. They are really two great sources. So that kind of like, that's a good little thing to have in your arsenal. So, you know, go look up those shops as well and do a little shopping over there too. I love this project. I can think of so many things to just fill these little tins up with, and I hope you were inspired today. So if you like this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It means the world to me. And until we meet again for our next crafting project, happy crafting to you and blessings to you and yours. And I will see you soon. Bye for now.